Okay, Babylon 5, The Coming of Shadows after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. We have, once again, most of the regular characters represented here. We don't see anything of Lanier or Natoth, but we do see a goodly amount of Londo, of G'Kar, of Vir, and also some of Delenn. And a kind of a surprise guest starring role, which we'll leave to you if you have not watched this. Nevertheless, the Emperor of the Centauri Republic wants to visit Babylon 5. One of the things he wants to do, he said, is to meet a Vorlon. He has never met a Vorlon, and in an encounter suit or not. And there is a question as to whether he will actually be able to meet with Ambassador Kosh. Now, why he was there was to give a very important speech. His prime minister knew what was going on about this, but he insisted on leaving him on Centauri Prime while he went without him so that someone was still in charge at the home world. Now, there, of course, has been a conspiracy to get rid of the Emperor, not only from people who have been in contact with Londo, but with people who've been in touch with G'Kar. So it was kind of a wondering what's going to go on as to who it was that was going to be able to subvert the Emperor on the Centauri's side, or to murder the Emperor on the Narn side. And when it comes down to it, the Emperor seems to be a most unusual Centauri. He does not wear a wig that has the poofed hair. He said, I have no need for showing my social status by now. And he seems to be an unassuming and fairly gentle spirit. He tells Sheridan that there have been very few times in his life that he's been able to make any choices at all. Everything has been laid out for him, and he misses the opportunity of what he might have been able to do had he been able to make some decisions, and seemed to be at this point ready to do something about that. And he tells the doctor, unfortunately, no one is able to kill him because he has poor health already. And in MedLab, he tells the doctor why he was really there. And it would have made a big difference had not some of the plans that had already been put into motion by Londo and his agent to the shadows had not already started. And that is a fighting war with the Narn. Unfortunately, if the Emperor had been successful, perhaps there wouldn't be much of a story left to tell. And there is much of a story since, as they say in the intro, this is the year of the Great War, 2258. It's kind of a sad note that it's down on. Vir and Londo have a very serious conversation, and Vir says, one of these days, Ambassador, I'm going to sit you down and remind you of this conversation. And no doubt he will. So that's the coming of the shadows. We see the shadows attack a Narn colony. We see the Emperor. We find out why the women of Centauri are bald. They shave their heads because the whole idea of status is shown by how far out your hair sticks. With the Emperor being a virtual bald guy, the symbolism there is that he is basically showing himself for who he is, not someone who is all powerful, but someone who wants to humble himself. And it's a very surprising way of establishing the Emperor here. Apparently, most of the atrocities that were performed by the Centauri were done by his ancestors, not by him personally. And so that's the situation that we find as he's coming up on Babylon 5. So a very interesting episode, one that is setting a number of things in motion, and there are some other things too, with an encounter with Garibaldi and with Delenn. So we're waiting to see the story really open up now for the remainder of the series. So it's enough to keep you wanting to watch, and we are, and will continue to review this. So we'd like you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, because there's another 3.5 years or so of story to talk about. So we will be following this. So it won't take us 3.5 years to do, because we don't take the summers off, but we'll continue to follow that. We hope that you'll follow us. Also, click a like if you will, and thank you for watching. Until we talk to you next time, we'll be back next week with reviews of Deep Space Nine, the original series of Star Trek, The Bad Batch, and more Babylon 5. Till then, don't go far.